Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, I wanted to start a new sort of resource that I'm going to be offering each month. It's going to be the moon messages for each life path number. And so I'm going to take a look at the numerology forecast and include animal wisdom messages for the full and the new moons each month. So we're going to start doing that for the full moon that's coming up on August 31st, 2023. So we'll take a deeper dive into each life path number, what you can expect, what energies you can be expecting to work with when it comes to the numerology, and then your animal wisdom message for that moon cycle. So for the day of the illumination, and then the couple weeks that follow. Of course, to get the most sort of dialed in, most accurate reading for your own personal journey, the best solution, of course, is a personal reading. So if you would like to book some time with me, my information is in the description box below. I would love to work with you and take a look. You can book some time with me there. And then also, if you are on my YouTube channel and you're a subscriber, or if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. But if you're a subscriber, make sure you hit the bell, because that way when I drop videos, you'll be alerted. And so you can catch those as they come out. And that also helps my channel kind of work with this crazy algorithm that we're working with YouTube these days. So I appreciate that in advance if you enjoy these videos. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. Life path number 9. So you all are working with the energy of the one and the animal wisdom message from White Buffalo around this full moon on August 31st. So incredibly beautiful energy coming in. I kind of like to see this for nines because the one energy sort of gives you permission to be a little more self-centered, a little bit more sort of invested in what you want, how you want to go after something, being a little bit more assertive, taking the lead in something, speaking up for what you want. And going after it and not being too concerned about how other people react or sort of whether they approve or not. The one is saying, bringing it back to self identity. Where is it that maybe you've been minimizing yourself or neglecting yourself for others? And so it just gives you an opportunity to, again, sort of evaluate where it is that you've been sort of neglecting your desires, your needs, what you need to thrive, and how can you move forward in a way that honors that? Because, as the saying goes, it's like we can't fill other people's cups up if we don't fill up our own cups. And so there's definitely something here on this full moon that's saying, that's helping you to, or sort of letting that fire beneath you to be a little bit more assertive, to take up more space, to own that space, to share your ideas, to, share your contributions. And if you have like big ideas that you want to go after or something that you want to create, this one energy, it's the visionary, it's the trailblazer. It's going to sort of push you. It's also like Aries energy, right? So it's going to sort of give you that fire and that motivation to go after those bigger dreams, those bigger goals that are a little bit more self-serving. Now, of course, you're still a 9, so you're still have this humanitarian energy. And so you always kind of come back to your own why, why am I doing this? Because your end result always has to sort of take into consideration the all, so to speak. But that doesn't mean that you neglect yourself or you self-sacrifice or any of those things, right? You're absolutely meant to enjoy this experience on Earth as well. So when you're in a one cycle, it's basically giving you that sort of like free reign to, again, speak up for yourself, take up more space, right? Especially if you've been in a situation where you're just constantly giving and the other person is constantly taking, you're going to deplete yourself in that situation. And so when the one cycle comes through, it says, where is it that you're like, taking up this little corner instead of half of the room? So, take up the rest of your space, basically. But also, this is a great time for initiating new things. So if there's something you want to launch, if there's something you wanted to start, whether it's a health program or a creative project or a new relationship or a new career, whatever. One energy is all about, big new starts, initiations, going for it, taking a risk, putting yourself out there, honoring your contribution, your desires, all of those things. And so when we're in this one cycle, and granted, it's not a huge, it's not a long cycle, it's only a couple of weeks, but what you initiate under this cycle, under this full moon, and typically full moons aren't for initiations, but when you're in a one cycle, you're going to feel that push, right? If there's something that really wants to be birthed through you and wants to really, your soul wants you to get started on, you're going to feel that around this one cycle. And so that full moon will highlight where that is. So honor that within yourself. And definitely don't be afraid to take a risk under a one energy. If you feel more comfortable with it being a calculated risk, that's okay. But the one energy is saying we won't know unless we try. So the only way to know is to take the risk and to do it. And so what I also love about White Buffalo coming through is White Buffalo coming through is kind of like the Ace of Pentacles. And so again, there's something that could come in for you that wants to be initiated at this time. That might look like it's going to be small and might not have great rewards. However, it has the potential to grow into something very successful. So don't ignore it. With White Buffalo, this is a very magical, sort of very spiritual energy coming through. And so there's something here about prosperity, divine gifts, and opportunities. And so with the one energy coming through, there's a very strong possibility that you might be presented with some kind of opportunity to make money, to, invest into something, to share a creative idea, to launch something. So again, maybe you've wanted to launch a YouTube channel or a podcast or write a book or whatever. This would be a great time to initiate that, to get started on that, to launch that. Especially with White Buffalo coming through. This is like a blessing from the divine that's saying whatever you start at this time has the potential to be very successful, to be very guided, and to be very blessed, right? And so, and as a 9, if those blessings come in, you're meant to like circulate them, right? Continue to have an equal exchange of energy, but also circulate that energy. So, I would say with one energy that you're working with and White Buffalo coming through, there is just so much potential under this full moon to tap into something. And I would say that it has to be unique to you. It has to be something that's authentic to you. So like your ideas, your desires, something like that. Your name is behind whatever this is. Or you're a very important part of it, right? So if it's a relationship, then you need to take up as much space as the other person. There needs to be an equal exchange of energy is basically the thought process there. But with White Buffalo coming through, especially if this has to do with whatever this initiation is, if this has to do with something monetary, like, money, resources, buying or selling, something like that, where you're asked to take a risk or be the leader upon some kind of project, et cetera, et cetera. Again, it's kind of getting this kiss from the heavens on whatever this is that you're starting. So it has the potential to be very successful and bring in a tremendous amount of prosperity, not only for you, but for others as well. So, end note would be if an opportunity comes in for you, even if it makes you nervous or scares you, I would say take the risk. I would say go for it. I mean, it has to feel right for you as well, obviously. But you're working with so many supportive energies at this time to share your brilliant ideas, to share your ingenuity, all of these things. And to really, again, not lose sight of self. So again, I would say if there's any areas where you have been self-sacrificing, this one energy is going to really put pressure on that to say, we can't do that anymore. There needs to be an equal exchange of energy in wherever it is that you're showing up. And so again, take up more space. And there's no need to apologize for that, right? So big energy, potentially very prosperous energy around this full moon as well for you all. So anything that you can start, I would say this is a great launching period for you guys. So good luck, and I hope it's a great full moon. Take care. Bye for now.